Hello and welcome to the Storytelling for the Soul podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Kanata, and this is the place we talk about all things expressive writing and other creative techniques, all with a little bit of Buffy the Vampire Slayer thrown in. Buckle up and enjoy. Hello and a warm welcome to another episode. I hope you are doing well whenever this episode finds you. Today, I am super excited to tell you all about my client, Mia. Now, of course, I've got permission to share everything that I'm going to say from Mia's perspective in this episode, but Mia, on Monday, the one that just passed, became my first client to make it through my Soulful Steps 3-month program, which I only rolled out last December. So Mia is the very first. I am super proud of her. Now, just a little bit of context. So Soulful Steps is a 3-month program. We have fortnightly 45-minute sessions. My target audience is women 45 plus who are juggling multiple things in their life. Now, that could be a range of things. They may have children, teenage kids, younger kids, juggling a job, their business. Perhaps they've got elderly parents or other people that they're caring for. People come to me living in a variety of circumstances. And in this program, what we do, we work together using writing as a well-being tool, weaving writing in, I call it embodied journaling or embodied writing, in with other body-based approaches to help regulate the nervous system and process any thoughts, feelings, sensations that need to be processed along the way. So that's the short version. People come to me with a range of goals in mind. Some people are really struggling to get a clear picture of what they want. They know that they yearn and desire change. They just don't know what that looks like, or even what the best next steps are. Other people want to learn how to set healthier boundaries, how to get better at communicating. There's a whole range of things. Feeling less dissociated, feeling more embodied, all that good stuff. So let's go back to Mia. So before Soulful Steps and our time together, Mia knew all about the benefits of writing. She'd been in my sphere for quite a long time, and I knew that she needed one-on-one support. She needed help with consistency and accountability to write regularly. So what did we do? As I mentioned before, the sessions are fortnightly. Of course, life happens. Sometimes we had to reschedule, but basically we implemented fortnightly sessions over the course of about 3 months. Yes, as I said, life happened. We had to juggle things here and there, but ultimately Mia kept showing up for herself. Now, I'm not one of those, for lack of a better term, coaches who will count a session if you miss it. So as long as you're giving me 24 hours notice in advance, I'm always very happy to reschedule for people because, as I said, my target market are people who typically are juggling a lot in their life. So women 45 plus, they might have kids, either younger kids, teenage kids, a partner. They're juggling often family life with a career or a business. Perhaps they've got elderly parents or other people that they're caring for. But essentially, they've got a lot going on in their life. So every now and again, we change up the schedule, and that is perfectly fine. So we practice nervous system regulation techniques in session with the aim that Mia could use those when writing triggered her, either in the session or outside of the sessions as needed when life happened. Reality is we're all triggered. Life happens for all of us. Doesn't matter what our situation is or our circumstances. We all have those moments where our nervous system is tipping into overwhelm, and your self-awareness levels will ultimately dictate how aware of that you are. So how do you know if you're tipping into an overwhelmed nervous system state? Basically, it's different for everyone. I can share my experience. So as soon as I start getting a little bit of a dodgy gut or breathlessness, and alongside accelerated heart rate and also sweating, I know that something is off and it's time to pay attention to what's going on around me and to bring myself back to my body and to try to allow those racing thoughts going through my mind, because of course all this often comes with panic because you know that something is off, but trying to really get into the physical body and using what we call a resource in embodied processing language. I am an embodied processing practitioner. Embodied processing is a body-based approach to working with trauma. A resource, to describe it as simply as possible, it's the opposite of overwhelm. If that language doesn't sit with you, think of a sense of safety, comfort, feeling grounded. I've heard people describe it as building islands or pockets of safety, which I really love that description. Back to Mia. So we worked with where Mia was at and whatever she felt called to explore each session. My only goal as the practitioner was to hold space and be present with Mia. Yes, I had a general roadmap for each session, but at least 2 or 3 times in our time working together, I just left what I had planned for that session and I was just there for Mia in the moment because things had happened, and the best thing to do was to be there and to work with what was present in that moment. Now, as of finishing Soulful Steps, and excitedly, she is so into writing now that she's chosen to continue for another 3 months. But now, basically, after completing the initial 3-month program, Mia feels very in tune with her hopes, desires, values, and wishes, and is very capable of setting healthy boundaries with others. So like I mentioned, during the first session, we take some time just to see where people are at. And then in the 6th session, which is the final of the first 3-month block, we take some time to revisit where we're at in the moment so that basically we can celebrate the progress that people have made. Now, this next quote is a direct quote from Mia. Mia says, "I feel you have helped me gain clarity and perspective on issues that I either had no idea about that were issues or didn't understand just how much they were impacting me daily. I feel I have achieved a better concept of accountability, and as uncomfortable as some of this work is, I've tackled it head on and am really feeling the benefit of having done so." I'm going to leave it there. That's Mia's little short case study. I am so very proud of her. I've onboarded another client. I've only opened up this program to 3 people in total because I want to make sure that I can show up for you, be present, be with you, hold space. So as of the 7th of March, 2025, when I am recording this episode, I only have 1 space left in the 3-month program currently. So if you'd like to explore what change could look like for you, let's have a chat. I'm very happy to jump on Zoom, have a quick 20-minute, 30-minute call, whatever it needs to be, discuss where you're at, where we could go together. Also, I should mention that payment plans are available. I'm going to give you some costings here. They are in Australian dollars. So it's $750 for the 3 months. At the moment, I'm running this at 50% off the standard cost. And I haven't quite decided when I'm going to flick the switch and basically revert back to standard pricing. So that's the other benefit of getting in quick and gobbling up that last space. But we can also organize 3 payments of $250, and the way that would work is after you've set up your first payment, the $250 comes out on a monthly basis from there. So I always love hearing from you. Email me, info@sarahcanada.com. Sarah is spelt with a H, so SARAH. My last name is Cannata. You can also head over to my website, sarahcannata.com. Same exact spelling. There is more information on the website. If you'd prefer to have a single session first before locking yourself in for the 3 months, please feel free to do so. I also have a very gentle, low-cost monthly subscription, Journal Prompts for Self-Care, that is currently, as of the time of recording, $11 monthly. I'm going to leave it there. I'm so very proud of Mia. Reality is, if you know things have to change, doing nothing isn't going to help things to magically transform overnight. Yes, like Mia said, this work can be uncomfortable, but I genuinely believe with every single fiber in my being that this work, writing as a well-being tool, blending that in with the body-based approaches to make sure that we're not re-traumatizing you, because writing can be triggering. Using both of those approaches, embodied journaling, embodied writing, you can really make wonderful steps forward and create the life of your dreams. Thank you for listening, and I'll chat with you next week.